Hello and welcome to Unrest Digest. I thought I'd have a little look to see what was trending on Twitter, and apparently immigration is. So I thought, what kind of immigration? Is it the US, the UK? Is it other immigration? So I typed it into the news, the Google, as you would say. And the first thing that came up was a Guardian article talking about the US. And I thought, okay, well, let's look at the US from a left-wing media perspective, because I'm hearing a lot of Title 42 from the right-wing perspective recently. Or at least not the mainstream right wing, but the alternative media talking a lot about the southern border. So I thought, let's try and, compare that with the Guardian. And there's just loads of adverts instead. Biden administration holds briefing on border situation. They don't actually appear to be writing anything. The cut to 24 hours from 48 hours is similar to a policy adopted under Donald Trump. They don't actually have a news article here. Let's probe immigration title. Excuse me. Race to the US border. What does the end of Title 42 mean? Or scenes from the US-Mexico border as Title 42 ends in pictures. I don't want pictures, Guardian. I want you to write something. I'm not going to take the risk and see if there is only just pictures. Let's read Sky News. Unfortunately, it's not left wing. I say Sky News is central. Sometimes leaning left, sometimes leaning right. People will be like, "Oh, but Rupert Murdoch." Yeah, well, he also recently sacked Tucker Carlson from Fox News. So I'm convinced he's now a leftist. Pandemic. What does the end of Title 42 mean? Pandemic-era US border restrictions on Title 42 have come to an end. Thousands of migrants have been crossing into the United States this week amid concerns about new regulations that will replace it. That actually, sort of suggests that they weren't already doing that. There was thousands and have been thousands. That's a pretty terrible border wall. I think I'm sure some people could slip through that, especially children. Title 42 was a law that enabled the US to halt entries into the country to stop the introduction of communicable diseases. That's what Trump put up, and I think he didn't just do it for that reason. He was trying to build a wall, and this also helped with that, to lower immigration. And then Joe Biden came in, even though this law was still there, and said immediately surge the border, and everyone forgot about COVID. Oh, I said the word channels demonetized now. That's it. No more money for me. That I'm not making. It was enacted in the Trump era to prevent COVID, allowing authorities to quickly deport migrants to Mexico back to their countries of origin. Since the introduction of Title 42, it was used to remove migrants more than 2 million times. I've heard a theory that the two sort of terrorist-style attacks, I think they were both in Texas, the one with the car that ran a load of people over and the shooting, was actually from the Mexican drug gangs, criminal gangs, I forgot what they're called. You know what I'm on about, those people that are trafficking people across the border, the cartels. And by getting rid of Title 42, it would just mean there'll be mass uncontrolled immigration into the US, because it's already quite a lot now. It's going to be too much, and there won't be any for them, sort of, these people they won't have any to handle. Basically, imagine if you legalized like cocaine, right? Suddenly these drug cartels would have nothing to smuggle anymore, would they, and make any money? So essentially the theory is that they've tried to scare the American people and the immigrants, and somehow, I think, on a back-end deal with Joe Biden, keep Title 42 up. Joe Biden then looks good. We're plugging the holes in the border, and the drug gangs and the cartels can continue to human traffic people across the border, making money, rather than it just basically being free to enter the United States. That's the theory that I heard anyway from Alex Jones. Be interesting to see what actually happens, because if he gets rid of Title 42 and doesn't replace it with anything, then that theory does just become a dead conspiracy theory, I guess. Since the introduction of Title 42, it's used to remove migrants more than 2 million times. But it's now expired because the COVID public health emergency is coming to an end. As the pandemic recedes, so does the need for Title 42. And now I can finally visit the US. I can't wait. As if I'm sure I'm going to go. It ended at midnight Eastern Time, 5 a.m. UK time. In the lead-up, migrants raced to enter the US border before the restrictions lifted. At the Mexican city of Matamoros, from Brownsville, Texas, groups of migrants and clutching small children waded across a river and pushed through tickets to go through barbed wire border. Oh, I feel sorry for some of these people. and the ordeal that they go through to get here. And all those NGOs, those people, those charities like the Red Cross, basically are a part of the human smuggling and the human trafficking and the sex trafficking, the child trafficking, all of it. Sorry, they appear as charities. And they're as bad or if not worse than the cartels. Some of these people get promised all this, like, the grass is beautifully green and come to the US, you're going to get all of this stuff. And you just end up in slave workshops. The same thing happens in the UK. I can't stand these people. It just makes, sorry, as she knows, it just makes everything worse for everybody. Except these charities and it's just a corporation, it's just a business. Others settled into shelters in northern Mexico, determined to secure an asylum appointment that could take months to schedule online. Yeah, that's the Remain in Mexico policy that Donald Trump had originally. I'm not even sure if that's there anymore, that policy. Officials say the number of days crossing the border surpassed 10,000 in a day and is rising. Like, how much is generally too much, and to the point where there's just too many people? I tried explaining this to people, and I think they were trying to think I was being racist. Like, they're coming here to take our jobs. It's like, no, it's not that. It's like, after a while, like, if you don't have the infrastructure, if you don't have enough housing, you don't have enough water or food just here in general, and too many people, it's just simple maths, isn't it? But people can't get it. They're like, oh, racist detected, and they just start going, well, but you wouldn't do those jobs. Like, mate, I am doing those jobs. Those jobs that they would so say do, yes, I'll be a labourer. So that's what they try to deflect it to. And it's like, no, I'm just saying, going back to my original video, if you have 7 apples and there's 7 children, and then you invite 5 more children in, there's not going to be enough apples to go around, is there? But that's racist, apparently. And someone will be like, well, let's just get more apples. From where? Grow more apples, right? Yeah, let's just grow more food. That's right. That's how you end the hunger issue in the world. Just grow more food. Even though we have enough food to feed everybody in the world. And the main problem that we actually have, excuse me again, it's not that. It's political reasons. I'm not going to read the rest of this anyway, because it's basically the same thing that's going on. I've had a little rant over. 1,500 active duty troops join the National Guards to help them invite more people in. I really don't see it, but we'll update you when we when there's actually more news on this topic, and when we actually see what Joe Biden does, whether he tries to put in a new system or just lets it become a complete free-for-all. But anyway, thanks for watching this little video and this rant. Apologies for how I came across. I wish the best for all these people, and some of the stories that come out are really harrowing, and maybe we'll get into them one day. But yeah, please like, comment, share, subscribe, check out the Rumble, and eventually we'll see if we can upload to Twitter when we find out how to do that. But yeah, anyway, cheers guys, catch you tomorrow.